Look guys, I'm on a leash. My employer has me on a leash. I haven't had 2 days off in a row since June, which makes it really hard to make filming location videos. But thankfully, a movie about a large dog on a leash was filmed not too far away from here. So, let's go check out some Turner and Hooch filming locations. Turner and Hooch came out in the summer of 1989, and the human-dog buddy cop movie was so successful that it spawned a made-for-TV movie, and in 2021, a new Turner and Hooch TV series debuted on Disney+. That new show is set in San Francisco, but it's actually filmed in Vancouver. But the original film that started it all filmed a number of scenes right here in Pacific Grove, California. One of the first scenes that you see in the movie is a crane shot looking down Lighthouse Avenue as it pans to the left to this building right here. For the past decade or more, this building has been a Chase Bank, but in the movie it stands in as the City Hall of Cypress Beach. Yes, we are now in the fictional town of Cypress Beach. That's the name they give Pacific Grove in the movie. Although in some scenes, they call it Cypress Grove, which is really confusing. As Tom Hanks and Reginald Vell Johnson, better known as Carl Winslow from Family Matters, exit City Hall, notice in the background if you look closely, the set decorators have covered over the word Pacific on the sign Pacific Grove Art Center. Now it just says Grove Art Center. Amazingly, in 2022, the Pacific Grove Art Center is still there. And the awning is still there. It's no longer green, it's more of a red color. But check out the logo of the Art Center. Now that has changed. Looking on Google Maps, we can see that as late as 2018, the original sign was still there. And the next time the Google car drove by in 2021, it had changed. It looks like sometime in 2020, the original signage was replaced. As if 2020 couldn't get any worse. When Turner and his partner David Sutton walk to their car, someone across the street calls out Turner's name.
Scott! Scott!
The old lady that calls out Turner's name is none other than Edith Reese Marin. You may recognize her from such classics as Ghostbusters and Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Alright, you little maggots, now line up. Time to go over the rules.
Excuse me? Are you serious?
You can't run a tight ship without rules. Now move!
Now from what I've read, Edith Reese Marin was a local of these parts. She was from either Pacific Grove or Monterey. I'm not sure exactly which city she was from, but she was a local actor here.
We're all hoping that you don't get shot. Poor boy.
Currently, this business is empty, so if you're looking for a brick and mortar with a little bit of Hollywood history, this just might be your place. Oh wait, rewind for a second. That building back there, the tall one, that's the actual City Hall of Pacific Grove. So the two private investigators head down Forest Avenue. Later on in the film, you see them driving down Ocean View Boulevard.
Some kids found money on Pinecone Beach. So far, they've counted $8,000.
This is Esplanade Park. You'll see that park outside of Turner's window as they're driving down Ocean View Boulevard.
Money on Pinecone Beach. So far, they've counted $8,000.
This is also the intersection where Reese Witherspoon has an accident and twists her ankle in Season 1, Episode 1 of Big Little Lies. So the guys get a call that some kids have found some money at the fictional Pinecone Beach.
Some kids found money on Pinecone Beach. So far, they've counted $8,000.
All right. Okay,
Katie, we're on the way.
We'll be
Pronto.
right there, sure.
This is the part of the road where Turner and Sutton make their big U-turn. Luckily, this house right here is still there. These other two houses, the ones that they make the U-turn directly in front of, were demolished just recently. And we can see that on Google Maps in 2017, this very wooden, beachy style home was still there. And the far home had been demolished and was being rebuilt. But by 2022, they've both been demolished and rebuilt. But when they turn around, we do not see this angle of Ocean View Boulevard. Where they end up is nearly 3/4 of a mile away. Talk about a U-turn. Look how tall those 3 trees have gotten. They're huge. Back at the spot where they made the U-turn, I attempted to make the U-turn myself. But as you can see, Ocean View Boulevard is pretty narrow, so I had to make a 3-point turn. And making a 3-point turn in a movie isn't nearly as cool as doing a big U-turn. So that's another reason why they probably started the U-turn here, and then ended the U-turn at another part of Pacific Grove.
Mrs. Harper?
Oh. First I thought it was play money. They had it scattered all over the room.
Wow.
Then when I realized it was real, I had them show me where they found it so I could show you. You suppose more money will wash up here?
This is Lovers Point Park. This is where Mrs. Harper's kids find a wad of money lying on the beach.
Well, I'm confiscating it. And if you do get it, you have to use it for college. It's the law.
See?
We have some forms you're going to need to fill out, Mrs. Harper.
Stop that.
In the movie, this stands in as the fictional Pinecone Beach. Back in downtown Pacific Grove, we get our first glimpse of Hooch walking down Lighthouse Avenue. In order to show the hills of Lighthouse Avenue, I believe the filmmakers actually filmed it way back here with some kind of telephoto lens. This building, which is now a coffee and juice bar, is where Hooch strolled right up Lighthouse Avenue. These parklets have been here since the pandemic, but I hope they go away soon. Later on in the film, Turner parks his car right here, with Hooch asleep in the back seat. And check out that skinny little tree in the background. And look how big it's grown now. It's massive. I wonder if Hooch ever peed on this tree. I bet he did. Dogs love to mark their territory. Yeah, I can vouch for it. Hooch definitely peed on this tree. While Hooch is chewing on that headrest, we get a quick glimpse of the buildings across the street. And besides a paint job, the facade is still the same. Marmaduke, is that you? As you can see, Pacific Grove is still a very dog-friendly town.
No, you're eating the car! Don't eat the car! Not the car! Oh, what am I yelling at you for? You're a dog.
Here's a Turner and Hooch fun fact. Turner and Hooch's original director was Henry Winkler, the Fonz, arguably one of the nicest guys in Hollywood. And his star of the film, Tom Hanks, of course, is another uber nice guy. But guess what? These two nice guys could not get along. Apparently, they fought like cats and dogs. They weren't bosom buddies. And after 13 days, Winkler was fired. And the rumor is that Tom Hanks was responsible for getting Winkler fired, which led to a 30-year feud. In 1993, Winkler was quoted as saying, "I got along better with Hooch than I did with Turner." Sounds like these guys don't need help from a therapist. They need help from Cesar Millan.
I rehabilitate dogs. Yes, we are. I train people.
Maybe Hanks thought that Winkler's direction had jumped the shark. Either way, it was Turner and Hooch which led to that 30-year feud. Back on Lighthouse Avenue, there is now a wedding going on at the church across the street from City Hall. And the building is still there, and it looks almost exactly the same, except now it is also a bank. There's a lot of banking in Pacific Grove.
I'll leave you in the car. You're just gonna eat the rest of it.
Turner takes Hooch inside City Hall. Hooch looks out the window and sees the suspect at the wedding. That Hooch has got some great eyesight. I wonder how much drool fell on this sidewalk. Hooch poked his head right out of that window.
Hooch, knock it off.
And trying to get a better view of the suspect, he moved over to this window. And the chase was on. In the background, you can see the taqueria called Pepper's. The logo on the side of the building has changed, but if you go around the front, the original logo is still there.
Seen that guy before? No! I can't see those blades. I don't have my glasses. Hold it. We need your car. Hi, Ernie. Buckle your seatbelt. Buckle the seatbelt. Buckle the seatbelt.
On the corner of Central and Forest is where Turner and his partner David Sutton basically carjack this kid, steal his car, and then they drive down to Ocean Avenue, picking up Hooch along the way.
Seen that guy before? No!
In the background, you'll see this statue of a naked woman. I guess Hooch wasn't the only one naked in this movie. And speaking of au naturel, across the street, but never seen in the film, is the Pacific Grove Museum of Natural History. So if you love history and things that are natural, this is your place. Okay, enough goofing around. Let's get back to the chase.
Mama, thank you for it. Hang on.
Send me to my mom's groceries.
Slap him across the face. I gotta stop.
This is the route that Turner and the gang take as they chase the suspect.
All right. What is that? It's a black Cadillac. No. What is the license plate? I can see the car. Wait.
This large house is still here. And these apartment complexes, slightly remodeled, are still here also.
But all right, hang on. He saw it. Come on.
Here's where the suspect almost got into a head-on crash. and this is the street that they mistakenly take a right turn on.
One thing that has changed about this intersection where they stop is that there are no more painted lines showing where the divider is, but there is an actual island in the stream of traffic. An island in the stream. I think this is what Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton were singing about in the 80s.
I'm out of a job before I even start! Hey, Turner, don't worry about it. It'll be our little secret.
And these homes look almost identical. Not much has changed since 1989.
What's the matter with your mom? She can't get a car with some muscle?
As for the rest of the movie, it was mostly filmed in the greater Los Angeles area. The vet clinic, for instance, was filmed on 10th Street in San Pedro. And for the harbor scenes, which are supposed to be the nearby town of Moss Landing, I believe are also San Pedro. Now, they did film nearby at Point Lobos for this scene, but I don't have time to go check it out. I'm late for work as it is. And one of the last scenes you see in the movie is Tom Hanks walking out of the newly refurbished City Hall, showing that he hasn't left for the big city of Sacramento, but has decided to stay in Cypress Beach with his girlfriend and their dogs.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed these Turner and Hooch filming locations. I think this little guy did. If you enjoyed it, hit subscribe, and pretty soon I will be off this leash.
And I'll have more videos for you in the near future, one of which you might call very marvelous.
Bye!